What's good, people? Late for the show but ready to go, and as you can see on the screen, we are on Rockchala's Instagram page. Go follow him, just to give him credit for these wonderful photos. And off the bat, you might see a couple of different new figures on the screen. Now we're gonna zoom in real quick. We're gonna go to the next post right here. Wait, get that off the screen. We getting a new Future Trunks. Now, third party has released so many different Trunkses that if you were like, I might skip this one, I can understand. But also, it looks pretty good. Can't lie. Now, of course, the hip lips is still there. What are you going to do about that? That's going to be here to stay. Be here until it's not, basically. But we have that title screen during the Cell Saga, with the squad posted up. And we got a brand new little Gohan right here. This looks good. It's looking pretty damn good, Now, I wonder how much this is going to cost. Of course, there's no official word on any of these figures in this video that I'm going to discuss. And it's going to be a lot to discuss. I'm going to try to not be super long-winded, of course. But brand new Gohan. Of course, before he went into the time chamber. And this is a Gohan I believe a lot of people were looking forward to having, especially with that scarf piece, of course, a look at the base Goku, and of course we're getting an updated base Vegeta. So for a long time we've seen the 2.0 base Vegeta that was revealed eons and eons ago, right? We were wondering like, when are they gonna release it? Well, at this point it might not never. That's what it seems like if this is coming out. We got a look at a base Vegeta. And also, I think, I'm going to scroll back down here, that Chaozu scene might be new. I can't tell if it's the Chaozu that came with that TN, or if they just plan to release a Chaozu by himself. We'll see. Time will tell the tale. I just wanted to cover that real quickly. Once again, there's no word on any of this, so I don't have any speculations. But I will say, at this point, since we're getting the whole Z squad, it shouldn't be too much longer before, for example, we get some androids, 17, 18, whether it's a new mold or not. We'll see. I could see them doing a re-release and then maybe a new mold down the line, or maybe they might just kick it off with a brand new mold. We'll see. Now, what I want to move on to is, we're not even going to get to that just yet. GOKUPALOOZA, that's going to be the title of this video. But either way, let's get to the Gokus. Alright, people, this right here. I know it's another Goku, but we're going to talk about that, right? And we're going to talk about something else, right? Let's start off with the information, right? I want to give y'all the information before I get into my diatribes and my excitement about this. A special item based on an original illustration will be coming to the Dragon Ball, I'm not going to even, GENKIDAMATSURI event. Okay, that wasn't too bad, Bomb. Okay, you can read a little bit. You're beating the Dragon Ball allegations a little bit. S.H.Figuarts Super Saiyan Son Goku Legendary Super Saiyan. I'm not going to pronounce that again. You heard me pronounce it once. Advanced sales will take place at the event January 25th, 2026. Now, it says for more information, check out the event page. I wish they could make it so you could actually click the links. Either way, damn, should I click that link? I don't want to waste any more time. What I wanted to say about this figure, this is crazy because, of course, Black Hole Toys definitely did a 2.0 version of this particular, Namek Goku with the shirt half torn, with the same color scheme. Not in a million years that I ever expect to see this from Tamashii. But yet, it makes sense. More money, special edition Goku. And funny enough, out of all the Dragon Ball posts, this is the first one I've seen get this many likes in terms of engagement in a while. 37,500k at this point of the recording. That's crazy. And then the hair sculpt is pretty much spot on from how he looked at this point in time on the panel they got it from. You know? So this is going to be a great product. I'm expecting, since this seems to be like the super special edition product, maybe it'll at some point either go up on Premium Bandai or come to the Tamashii Nation store, which, you know, be convenient for me. But it's all touch and go at this point. As far as we know, it's only at the event that you'll be able to get this figure as of now. You know how, you know, they give us updates periodically. Yeah, man. This is great reveal, and this was a hell of a reveal because this was revealed on my birthday, November 7th. So this is, you know, our hell of a birthday gift. Thank you, Tamashii. Even though I didn't actually get the figure, nice reveal for the birthday, you know. Now we're gonna move on. Maybe I'll edit something in here where I go to the website. All right, I'm gonna stop it right here, and then I'm gonna check the website to see if it has additional information. Okay, couple things before I end this segment for real. I went to the website. I didn't really see a whole lot of useful information. I saw that it was 8,800 yen. So do with that what you will. I'm thinking if this is imported over here, which most likely it will be, considering like that 40th anniversary Kid Goku with the dragon, that was at the Tamashii store, and I have it in hand, and you know, I've seen it. But the second thing I wanted to say that I meant to include here is, with this particular color scheme, Goku isn't the only character that's had like odd color schemes in the past. Trunks also has, and I'll post a picture up on the screen. But would y'all be interested if Tamashii did a similar thing with the Trunks that you see on the screen, which is grade 3 Trunks? And like I said, I have the panel there. Would y'all be interested if they did like a similar release like that? I don't know. I think this opens up that possibility. You never know. You know, that's why I'm including it here. But, you know, that's all speculation. We don't really know. This could be like a one and done of this type of thing, even though I don't think it will be. But, you know, there's always that possibility. Either way, let's move forward. Okay, so now we've reached, I would say, the meat and potatoes of this video. What's going on? This was not on my Bango book to be revealed at all. I said Bango book. Bango card to be revealed at all. Not in the slightest. Super Saiyan God Goku, and it's literally right out of the first appearance for him in the anime. So, like, what can I say? This looks great. This is the look that people have wanted in terms of the arms being slimmer. This is definitely a figure that's going to be, you know, very popular. Super Saiyan God Son Goku God Aura. That's the name of this figure. From Dragon Ball Super, the commercialization of S.H.Figuarts Super Saiyan God Son Goku God Aura has been decided. It's making its world premiere exhibition at Tamashii Nations 2025, of course. Yada yada yada. There's no actual information on it besides the reveal. Now, from some of the pictures that we've seen in person of this figure, we know that this figure is going to come with a windswept hair, where he's, you know, he's launching forward towards somebody, and part of his hair is blowing back. There's a lot to unpack with this figure. Does this mean that we'll get a new Beerus at some point? I don't know. But in the display that they had, which maybe I'll have some pictures pop up on the screen. They have him fighting Beerus, so either, I would think if this figure came out, they'd at least do a re-release for Beerus. Now, it's funny that I say this, and I'm looking at my Beerus figure lay right off to the side. But I'm really hoping for a new Beerus if they do continue. First of all, we don't even know why this is being released. This came out, once again, brand new super content that's not related to a movie. Like, for example, like Gohan Beast Orange Piccolo, you would expect for them to make figures of that because it was related to a movie, you know. But Super is over, and this is based off of the first appearance of him as a Super Saiyan God. So why release this all of a sudden? Is Super coming back? I don't know. I know there's supposed to be, according to Geekdom, I believe he said there's supposed to be 2 announcements and a video game. So the video game isn't a part of the 2 announcements. That's separate. 2 brand new announcements. So we're going to see if it's super related. I'm not about to get my hopes up, and nor am I saying that I know anything like on the inside that it is super related. But I do find it peculiar that all of a sudden Tamashii decided to release this. It's very peculiar. As well as, you know, of course, the less popular Super Saiyan Blue Goku, which also looks great. Hair sculpt looks excellent. Same thing with Super Saiyan God, excellent. S.H.Figuarts, Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Son Goku, Blue Power Transcending Limits. Yo, these names, man, a mouthful. That's what she said. From Dragon Ball Super, the commercialization of the S.H.Figuarts Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Son Goku. Why don't they just call it Super Saiyan Blue? You're making this difficult. Blue Power Transcending Limits has been decided. Once again, no actual information on release dates or price point. I'm assuming that it'll probably be, I'm hoping for a general release for both of these. However, you know, you gotta be on your toes with Tamashii. You never know. You gotta be on your toes. So we'll see. Once again, on the display, this was also posed with a figure, an older figure, which it looked like it even had, that older figure had no business being posed with this. It was posed with the Goku Black figure. And I wonder if we'll get an updated Goku Black, since we just got these super figures out of nowhere. I think what's ultimately going to help is understanding why these figures are being released now, all of a sudden. But definitely a surprise. I would have never predicted this anytime soon, but I'm happy that it's here. I gotta go back to talking about the display again. So they have the Games Begin Goku posed with that old ass 1.0 cell. Sorry, oh yeah, I didn't say this before, but sorry, I'm like a little congested, getting over a head cold. It's pretty much gone, but I still got some of that stuffiness like Charlie from Smiling Friends, you know. So I guess if you're still here, you're bearing with me anyways. But they had that Games Begin Goku pose with the old cell, and my point is that undoubtedly they're gonna make a new cell. So if they have some of these old figures posed with these new figures with the super old tech, I wouldn't be surprised if we got updates to all these at some point. However, is that true? No, not necessarily. They could just be like, alright, we're gonna move on to something else. Or they can make it seem like, oh, we're not gonna update it, and then they do update it at their leisure, you know? There's a couple things that need to be updated in terms of Super from that era. Like, all the Revival of F stuff are in desperate need of updates. They never even bothered to do a 2.0 of that, that Revival of F Goku. Now, you know, third party, Demoniacal Fit, you know, did they thing with that. But from official, no, that thing is still a 1.0 figure. And the same thing, they had the old Frieza figure posed up with the, you know, the Goku, the first appearance Super Saiyan Goku, as I'm calling it, you know. But whatever they call it, it was like Rage something. I don't remember all these convoluted ass names. But speaking of that, since we're on Gokus right now, right? We're gonna go to that Goku real quick. Now, this is the part of the video where I'm gonna do some speculation. Now, I know I said in the video where I dedicated, you know, talking about this figure. I said, you know, they have him posed up with this Frieza figure, and I was hoping for an updated, you know, fourth form Frieza, right? However, something that changed my mind was that display, because in that display they had, like, once again, these updated figures posed with old figures. Like, my example was the Games Begin Goku, and I was like, I know for a fact they're gonna update that cell. So just because it's posed with an old figure doesn't necessarily mean that they won't get an update. It's just they just posing what they have for now. But what really made me raise my eyebrow with potentially getting an updated Frieza, and I was talking to my good man Cyrus about it, and we both at the same time came to the same conclusion. And it was like, yo, what could you I was like, you know what's funny? Out of all the, you know, the DLC that you could have made for Goku, the one DLC I'm surprised we didn't get was the windswept hair for, you know, the legendary Super Saiyan Goku when he was on Namek. We never got the windswept hair. I was like, that's an iconic frame panel, whatever you want to call it. That's a very iconic look for Goku, where his hair's being windswept and he's looking down at Frieza almost in like a sad, like, damn man, why you have to make this so difficult? Kind of like, that's how he's looking at Frieza. He's looking at him in that kind of way. I'm like, wait, hold up. You make a new Frieza and you include that head with the Frieza. Bam. Now, is this confirmed? No, we don't. Absolutely not. This is just my speculation. But if they did it, I would not be surprised. It's perfect. Literally perfect. Who else? Who better but to include it with than Frieza? Is what I'm trying to say. But either way, I've rambled on long enough. I think I got to everything I wanted to say in terms of, you know, even like the God forms. I'm thinking the reason why they showed these all of a sudden is probably because they may have something relating to Super being revealed next year in January. Now, is that confirmed? Like I said, no, I don't want anybody to get their expectations too high, because ever since Super ended, we've been trying to speculate and figure out when it's going to come back, and to no avail. Nothing. We got Daima, of course, but that's not Super. Either way, this has been Bombastic Plastic. Stay fantastic. I thank you guys for bearing with me and with the inconsistency. I will be more consistent moving forward. And I would say, I'm not going to plug my Instagram, but if you want to go follow me, I'll have my Instagram in the description. I do like Instagram questions, so where I'm like usually walking somewhere. Sometimes I have a destination, sometimes I don't, and I'll just, you know, ask me a question about figures or something, or whatever you want to ask. But most of the time people are asking me about figures. Either way, peace.